What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. I do have some breaking news, okay? Now, there has been a change of events right now, according to reports, according to Sham Sharina of The Athletic, as she tweets. Ben Simmons could be back in action this season after all. There's optimism that Simmons could make the debut during the first round of the playoffs as long as his progression continues in strengthening his legs and back. Uh, this right here is the change of events. They said that Simmons was on court doing some shooting prior to the game against Indiana on Sunday, and during his pregame press conference, Coach Steve Nash said Simmons still needed to take a number of steps to suit up from the back injury that kept him out on the sidelines since he was dealt from Philly. And they also, he said, "quote He's doing a little bit of movement, still one-on-one stuff, and or they said one-on-zero stuff. Sorry about that. And he's still got a lot of milestones to reach, but it's positive. So, this right here, this is something to look for. And I know Brooklyn fans are pretty happy, because Ben Simmons is. I mean, regardless of what you want to say, regardless of what his past was, and his transgression, trials, and tribulations, what he went through, the drama queen that he was being out there with us over here in Philly or whatever. Listen, he's still a talent that you still must watch out for. You know what I'm saying? And Ben Simmons in the lineup, depending on how he plays and how he looks and everything, because you still got to talk about chemistry, still got to talk about that sort of thing or whatever. Regardless, you know, it's still a thing to be watched for when you're playing the Nets or whatnot, because Ben Simmons is a ball handler at 6'10", very athletic, very quick, fast, extremely quick first step, and he can distribute the ball. And on top of that, he can play defense. The only knock on him, of course, is the shooting. But having said all of that, this right here, man, it kind of changes the dynamic, especially if Ben Simmons does come back in the playoff. Now, are we ready to automatically start crowning the Nets as champions or something like that? No, I'm not going to go that far because, like I said, going back to what I just said, still chemistry, still cohesiveness that still needs to be looked at as well. These guys they haven't played with each other. They haven't been on the court with each other. They haven't been through battle with one another. So that's a big thing. And that's not to say that coincidences take place, but at the same token, you got to get familiar with one another. It's a new person, new player involved. And a new player with people that got to get familiar. I think the only one that may be familiar with Ben Simmons is, of course, Seth Curry. And maybe to a certain extent, I would say Patty Mills, being that Patty Mills is from Australia. But, and some of these guys, they might be familiar with each other in terms of open gym or something like that. But we're talking about a team dynamic. We're talking about a structure. We're talking about actually being on a constructed roster, not just, any pickup games in the off season or anything like that. But this right here, man, this is something to be looked for. Do I see Ben Simmons, coming back and making a big contribution? He'll make a decent contribution, but in terms of, I would say, like actually seeing seeing the success rate, I think that that would be more so next year. I think that would be more so next year. That's just my opinion on everything. But hey, if they prove me wrong, I can't do nothing but salute them guys and give them some, their respect. And the fact that he's working, to come back and trying to get back, that actually does say something. You know what I'm saying? I think now I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I think Ben Simmons has kind of turned a new leaf. I think that him being around that type of atmosphere, being around guys that have won, Steve Nash, even though he didn't win a championship, and even though he didn't, he didn't get to the finals or anything, he was still one of the great point guards to do it, and he had been around championship pedigree, especially when you talk about the Golden State Warriors because he was on that coaching staff, and on top of that, when you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers with him having an opportunity to play with a guy like Kobe. You know, now another thing is too is that you know Ben Simmons gets the opportunity to play with two other champions and two other future Hall of Famers too as well, and that is of course KD and Kyrie. And I think that the reason why he's changed the new leap is because the approach to the game might be a little bit more different. You see, sometimes, man, you got to be around different guys in order to change your mindset or to enhance your mindset. And Ben Simmons, being in an environment over there in Philly. I mean, yeah, he could have came back, but he wasn't going to be happy. Now he's got a breath of fresh air. He's able to go out there and all the naysayers and the doubters and stuff like that. Now he's just got to go out there and prove them wrong. And this is a hell of an opportunity if he does get out there again. Look, the only thing that I was tripping on, I would say, is the mental health factor. Now I did question the back for a while, but until he was getting epidural shots in his back for the herniated disc and everything, then I started to go ahead and I said, okay, yeah, this is real because, like I said, man, epidural shots are for people that are with excruciating pain, such as women that are pregnant. You know, but like I said, if you're just coming in, there is a possibility, according to Sham Sharina, that Ben Simmons might be back in the lineup uh, when the playoffs are are in. So this is a big dynamic. And listen, I was just talking about this yesterday with some of the guys that was on there. I think I was talking to Wade Wet about it, and I said, Ben Simmons done, but Lord behold, Lord behold, they came out with this report that Ben Simmons might be back. So we'll have to see what happens, man. And listen, the only thing that you can really do for Ben Simmons right now is just, I honestly, I just want the guy to do good. You know what I'm saying? But when you do the stuff that you do, such as making excuses or saying mental health and all this other stuff, not to say that you didn't have it or whatever, whether you had it or whether you didn't have it, that's nothing to be played with. But at the same token, all you have to do is just show people in order to be who you are. Because I'm gonna be real with you, in this situation right here, Ben Simmons could actually make Harden look even more bad than what he already is because of Harden. He's kind of going downhill. Let's just call it what it is. His game is digressing, and then on top of that, he doesn't have that much time left. Ben Simmons has a whole hell of a lot of time left in order to prove people wrong, and in order to make his future better than his past track record or whatnot. He has a chance. He has the opportunity to get in there, do some work on his shot. He has the opportunity in there to show people, okay, hey, I'm not that bad of a guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good teammate. He has the opportunity to actually go further. And we all know what the end game is really is to win, and possibly win a Larry O'Brien and be able to hoist it and do something that a handful of other players weren't ever able to do. So if Ben Simmons come back, this would be this would be great. It would be great for him and it'd be great for Brooklyn. But like I said, and this is my last point, like I said, it still comes down to chemistry and it still comes down to cohesiveness. Okay, because they still got to go through some trials and tribulations. Everything's not going to be great, but we'll see how it works out with Ben Simmons as opposed to James Harden because they went through their trials and tribulations with James Harden. However, you could see how that worked out. James Harden got up out of there because he couldn't handle the pressure, and it was too much for him. We'll see if Ben Simmons is able to handle it. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at you later.